Amid rising tensions between Washington and Beijing, the United States has now escalated the global fight against suspected Chinese police outposts. Reports say these alleged outposts instigate and investigate crimes and gather intelligence, all without jurisdiction or diplomatic approval. Over 100 such outposts are reportedly operating all over the globe. China continues to refute and downplay these claims. This Chinese police outpost is suspected to be in a 6-story office building on a busy thoroughfare in Chinatown in New York. On the lobby directory, it lists an engineering company, an acupuncturist, and an accounting firm. The New York outpost is reportedly established by the Chinese city of Fuzhou. FBI counterintelligence agents searched the building last fall. This was part of a criminal investigation being conducted with the United States Attorney's Office in Brooklyn. The FBI raid is the first known example of the authorities seizing materials from one of the outposts.
FBI counterintelligence agents reportedly raided that unassuming glass building behind me because it allegedly contained a covert Chinese police outpost here in the heart of New York City's Chinatown.
Now, according to the Chinese embassy in Washington, these outposts are crucial for assisting Chinese citizens overseas with their routine tasks. The embassy further stated that the workers at these outposts are volunteers who assist locals, including helping them in renewing their driver's licenses back home. But in 2020, the then FBI director said that the presence of such outposts was outrageous. His remarks came after the authorities charged 8 more people with being part of an Operation Fox Hunt. Operation Fox Hunt involves Chinese officials hunting down fugitives abroad and putting them under pressure to return to China.
It's not clear what the FBI was investigating when it carried out that search. However, according to the New York Times, it comes amid a broader Justice Department investigation called Fox Hunt. Back in October, the Brooklyn office, the same department that carried out the search in the glass building, charged 7 Chinese nationals for harassing a U.S. resident and his son for pressuring them to return back to China to face criminal charges.
WeOn is now available in your country. Download the app now.
What's up, everybody, and you are listening to the best of the Media Mike radio show. I'm your host, the Media Mike Speaks, sponsored by New Justice Media, where we are the voice of the everyday citizen. The time is now 4 minutes past the hour here in the Lone Star State, so let's get to it before it's too late. All right, good people, some of my subscribers sent me this story in this video regarding the Chinese, the Chinese infiltration, I would say. So Operation Fox Hunt. So are we being infiltrated? That is the question here. the FBI raid on the Chinese police station in the Big Apple. So this story has not gained much traction. It's been there, it's been out for a minute, but no one seemed to have, paid attention to it. But is it something we should be worried about? That is the question too. And what is this really all about? I would say that is the question also. So let's get to this and we'll talk about this here. Now, the FBI raided a suspected outpost of Chinese police tucked away in New York City's Chinatown. Now, this happened last fall, seizing materials from one of the secretive operations for the first time known to the public, anonymous sources revealed to the New York Times. Now, I wonder who are these anonymous sources. And we're going to get to that too, of how this was, with speculation, of course. How did this all come out? Confronting this threat is the FBI's top counterintelligence priority, is what they're saying. To be clear, the adversary is not the Chinese people or people of Chinese descent or heritage. The threat comes from the programs and policies pursued by an authoritarian government. The Chinese government is employing tactics that seek to influence lawmakers and public opinion to achieve policies that are more favorable to China. Now, what does that mean, actually? I mean, of course, they would be employing tactics. So, are they saying they seek to influence lawmakers here in America to achieve policies that are more favorable to China? It could be. At the same time, the Chinese government is seeking to become the world's greatest superpower through predatory lending and business practices, systematic theft of intellectual property, and brazen cyber intrusions. Well, can you blame them? Is that necessarily a bad thing? America's been the world's superpower since when? After World War II? Us and Russia? So there's not room for three. I mean, you tell me. Because that is what the FBI spokesperson is saying. They're seeking to become the world's greatest superpower. So, yeah, like we are, where we were, I don't know, so. I mean, this says through predatory lending and business practices. Well, if you knew how America was formed and how they did become the world superpower. So it's almost like the chickens come home to roost. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm just saying allegedly. Now, China's efforts target businesses, academic institutions, researchers, lawmakers, and the general public, and will require a whole of society response. The government and the private sector must commit to working together to better understand and counter the threat. But okay, now, giving credence to America, I understand we must protect our own. But we have used the Chinese in the past. They helped build the American railroads. So what did you expect? So I guess they allow you to get big, but not too big. So let's continue here. At least 102 such outposts have been documented in 53 countries in recent months by the human rights group Safeguard Defenders. So I guess they're the ones who go out and spy on foreigners, I would say. Now, FBI Director Christopher Wray said in November that he's very concerned about the outposts, which he called police stations. Unquote. It's a long-arm power to show their own citizens inside China that the government is so strong, said Safeguard Defenders researcher Chin Yang Ting. Oh, so one of their own turned them in. We have the power to reach globally, and even if you go out, you're still under our control, unquote. Well, that kind of sounds like our CIA. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, it does kind of sound like our own CIA. Don't we do that too? I mean, I'm just saying. But I guess with China, what they're saying is that's all their citizens, I guess. But not necessarily, because they're saying these are only people that China feels should be held accountable for something. I don't know. Now, the Chinese embassy said there's no need to make people nervous about the so-called outposts, which it said are staffed by volunteers helping Chinese nationals with routine tasks like renewing their Chinese driver's licenses, the Times reported. And we'll talk about that too, about the 3,000 Chinese driver's licenses got sent to I guess, a Chinese gang. I don't know, underworld on the dark web. So, but anyway, but in Chinese state media, the Times found them referred to as overseas police service centers that are collecting intelligence and solving crimes for Chinese nationals without the help of local authorities. Okay, well, if they're doing that, then what do they need our help for if they can solve their own crimes? But I guess, being that they're in America, that's something you're not supposed to do. You know, we have to consult with the NYPD, they're in New York, or the American authorities to see what's going on. Now, China does push back, saying they are not police personnel from China. There's no need to make people nervous. They're saying they're not police personnel. Now, however, Chinese state media reports by the New York Times that, once again, they see these as overseas police service centers. Now, a list of police outposts showed the addresses of Chinese restaurants and associations, the Times reported. Police outposts have been set up in Japan, Italy, France, Britain, Germany, Hungary, and the Czech Republic, among other countries, by at least 4 regions of China, according to the Times. Well, they're really spreading their tentacles. Hey, it is what it is. Now, an FBI spokesperson, once again, Mr. Ray, stated, "We are aware of the existence of these stations. I am deeply concerned about this, and I'm not going to just let it lie. We cannot allow any hostile foreign adversary to the opportunity to conduct policing activities within our borders." I don't know about this. Don't the small hat people, don't they have their own police force? I mean, if they can take care of their own problems, what is the problem? Now, it goes on to say these secret police stations illustrate the extreme lengths of CCP will go to harass and control its citizens and descendants, not just at home, but increasingly abroad. They're saying they shouldn't be doing that. They're harassing their own people. Is that a bad thing? They're not bothering us. Now, the State Department and Chinese Embassy did not respond immediately and could not be reached for comment. But this is really a bad thing. Is it? I mean, they're handling things, or is it that they're using the people for other things? Or they're making them spy on certain things in America, and the people are defecting and not going back? It could be. I mean, it could be. What do you think? I mean, I don't know. I mean, are we grateful for the boys, men and women in blue? You know, cracking down on this? Could be. But, you know, China seems to be closing in. We got balloons and more balloons and hacking. And, I don't know. The sea thing, you know, that we were locked down on, saying it came from them. Hey, it is what it is. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Please feel free to leave your comments in the comments section below. Until next time, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.